Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for Maris Hena Miriam Baschana, and it is sponsored by my sweetest and most beloved friend, Rabbi Dror David Ben Sarah. We're going to be learning about Dinei Nefashos Holchim Achar Harov. How exciting a topic is that? The Gemara in Ksubis tells us in the Tezvav Amud Aleph that if you have a group of 9 Jews and 1 Kanani, and somebody throws a rock in there and it kills somebody, and that somebody is a Jew, he's patur. He did an Aveira, not allowed to kill anybody, not a Jew, not a Goy. You're not allowed to throw rocks where people are. It's true. We're talking about a Chiyav Misa. Person only Chayav Misa, he kills a Jew. Threw the rock in there, killed a Jew, it's patur. How can that be? The answer the Gemara says is because it's kavua. It's all in a set place. And we have a rule. Kol kavua, kemechza mechzadami. So it's 50-50. Can't say there was a rove of Jews. It's 50-50. Kol kavua kemechza mechzadami. Since kol kavua kemechza mechzadami, Memela, the din is that his pater was only 50-50. Can't be mechayiv and misa. We see from this Gemara that if not for kol kavua kemechza mechzadami, you would follow the rove. So from here we see you follow roves. Even though here we're talking about Dinei Nefashos, you're going to kill the guy because of this rove. But yeah, follow the rove. It's one Gemara, Ksubis. Now we go to Gemara in Chulin, the Bakanta Sugi in Chulin and Daf Yud Aleph. The Gemara there works very hard to find out where we know you follow rove. And the Gemara says, Pasha, we have a pasuk, Achwei Rabim Lahatos. You follow the rove. If you have a rove, based in you follow the rove. Push it. So when it's a ruba the isa come on, when it's a rove that's in front of us, push it. Of course you follow the rove. When it's 9 kosher stores and 1 unkosher store and you find a piece of meat on the street, you follow the rove. What about ruba the lesa come on, where the rove isn't in front of us? Do you follow the rove or do you not follow the rove? So the Gemara brings a makor from Kibbut Avim, from Makkah Aviv V'Ima. It says if a person wounds his father, he's chayiv misa. How do you know it's his father? How do you know it's his father? Maybe 9 months before he was born, his father was on a business trip, and his mother spent the night at somebody else's house, another man's house. And 9 months later, she had a baby, and this other man is this boy's father. We don't know. We don't know. So how do you know that this woman's husband is this guy's father, that you can kill him for hitting this man? He can say, maybe he's not my father, maybe somebody else is my father. Prove it. The mother, you can prove. He came out of his mother. But what happened 9 months before, that can't be proven. So, how do you know it's really his father that you can kill him? The answer is, you go after the rove. Go after the rove. Rove bilos achar abal. Most Maisa Biyas, even if a woman is unfaithful to her husband, most of the time it's going to be with him and not with another guy. So since you follow Rov Bilos Achar Abal, it's usually the husband. We know that this child is the son of this man, and if he hits him, he's Chayiv Misa. So again, we see that when it comes to Nefashos, we go follow Rov. Another Gemara, Sanhedrin, Samech Tes Amud Aleph. There it talks about a Ben Sora Amora. That when does he become a Ben Sora Amora, a rebellious, recalcitrant child? I think. And the answer is from 13 to 13 and 3 months. Why? Because it says Kiyelish Ben Sora has to be a Ben, not royally Kari of. He can't be called possibly a father. When is a person going to be in a state that he can be called a father? When he impregnates a woman and she starts showing. When does a woman start showing? The end of the first trimester, the end of the first third of her pregnancy. So that's after 3 months. After that, he's already royally karyav, so he's 13. Now he can, he's mature, he's physically mature, so he could theoretically make a girl pregnant. And after 3 months, he's already royally karyav. So that's the time frame. Says the Gemara, wait a second. Let's limit the time for the Ben Sora Mora, and let's make it 2 months and a third. Why? Because some women give birth early, some women give birth after 7 months. and therefore they're also showing early. Oh, they're showing earlier, so therefore this guy can already be royally kareyav. He can already be called a father. His wife is already showing. The woman he made pregnant is already showing earlier on. So make the ben sower or more a shorter time span. Or it's no, you follow the rov, and most women give birth after 9 months. So again, there's a chiyuv misa ben sower more. So you're killing this person based on a rov. Nochama, we see that with Dinei Nefashos, you follow a rov. Another example, Chakira Se'edim. In the olden days, they were Makadish the Chodesh based on the Eidim, when the Eidim would say that there's a new moon. But sometimes the month is 30 days, sometimes the month is 31 days. We don't know. People make mistakes. So then you have a case where Reuven kills Shimon, 2 Eidim come, and one Eid says it was on the 2nd of the month. The other Eid says it was on the 3rd of the month. Everything else works out. There's this one little discrepancy. Kill the guy. Why? Because rov people make a mistake about Ibur HaChodesh. So we see again that we follow the rov, even to kill, even Dinei Nefashos. Another example, follows Makadish Ktana. And then somebody has Bia, not her husband. Kill him. Why? Maybe this Ktana is going to turn out to be an islandess, a woman who's not able to give birth. She's not a normal woman. And the whole marriage is off. It was based on mistaken pretenses. And they weren't married in the first place. And if they're not married in the first place, then she wasn't an Eshes. She wasn't an Eshes. You can't kill the guy. How do you know she's not an islandess? Teretz. How do you know she wasn't an islandess? All women are islandesses. How come all you see? Or Mechayiv Mis, even Dinei Nefashos, based on a rov. Is that something? Zil bosa ruba, sagt the Gemara. V'roiv noshim labai loinis ninu. Those women aren't alonius. However, the Gemara says, Ksubis, that if an avalanche of rocks falls on a child, and the rove chances, most chance, the majority, it's a goyish child, you're still machal Shabbos and remove the rocks in order to extract the child, to save the child. You're only machal Shabbos if he's a Jew. Teretz. Ein holchem bepikuach nefesh achar harov. V'kana ben shoah. Oh, T.O. coach. You just told me 30 times that even with Dinei Nefashos you follow rov. ועכשיו אתה בא וטוען שאין הולכים בפיקוח נפש אחר הרוב. Yeah, you're right, it's rov. Non-Jewish kids. But there's a meter of Jewish kids. You have to machal Shabbos. Ein הולכים בפיקוח נפש אחר הרוב. אין הולכים נפש אחר הרוב. Let's give you 5 examples that הולכים פיקוח נפש אחר הרוב. We kill based on a rov. We don't try to save somebody based on, it's not his father. His mother had a fling on the side. No. Rov bilos achar haba. So do we follow a rov when it comes to Nefashos? Or don't we follow a rov when it comes to Nefashos? That's our question. Not only that, when it comes to a beis din, there's a pasuk, v'shaftu eida v'tzilu eida. The Sanhedrin has to do everything they can to save the guy. So when they come, they give testimony, it's the 2nd of the month, the 3rd of the month. Oh, you're off. Yeah, we didn't know Ibur HaChodesh. No, you knew Ibur HaChodesh. You're just telling fake news, as somebody likes to say. I would do my impression, but I'm not as good as I've seen people do much better impressions than me of him. Other people as well. I'm not a professional impressionist, although I do a pretty good impression of myself. In any event, that's our kasha. So the Sefer Yoshev Ohalim, an excellent Sefer on Ksubis, Shir Yadalit, he says as follows, a nice chiluk. And that is that Pikuach Nefesh is Matir Isurim. Pikuach Nefesh doesn't change reality. It's Matir Isurim, but it doesn't change the reality. Let's explain. Gemara in Bava Kama talks about David HaMelech, David Melech Yisrael Chai V'Kayim, and Plishtim are hiding in the stack of hay, and David HaMelech wants to burn the stack, but he's not sure it belongs to Jews. You're allowed to save yourself from Mammon Chaver. You're not allowed to save yourself with your friend's money. He asked the Chachamim. He said it's very nice to burn the stack and save yourself from the Plishtim, but Osir lahatzil atzmo b'Mammon Chaver. You're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to save yourself with your friend's money. But you're a king. And with a king, we make an exception. What's the exception we make with the king? That Melech Paritz lo geder lasas lo derech vein mochem biyado. King has his own rules, his own rule book. You're allowed to burn the haystack. He didn't do it. Why not? He didn't want to take advantage of his status as king. And also hatzatzim u'min chavero lo ratzah l'stabech. No. Why isn't pikuach nefesh dochelo sigzol? You're right, it's not nice to burn somebody else's haystack, but it's pikuach nefesh. So the answer is given in the name of Shimon Shkap. That pikuach nefesh is doches surim, but it doesn't change the mitzias. What doesn't it change? The bailus over this money. Who does this money belong to? It belongs to somebody else. And I can't say, no, it's not your money. I'm going to burn it. Because here the issue is not being mevatel the isser. Here the issue is saying that you don't have bailus over this money. You're taking away their bailus. You have no right to take away their bailus. The fact that I have pikuach nefesh doesn't change the reality. It's doche surim, but it doesn't take away your bailus. They have bailus. You're not allowed to burn the haystack. So pikuach nefesh is not mafkia. It doesn't take away somebody else's bailus. The mitzius of this person's ownership of this property, of this money, doesn't change because of my pikuach nefesh. So pikuach nefesh is doche surim, but it doesn't change the mitzius. Another pashut example. Person is allowed to go into the Beis Hamikdash b'tumah for pikuach nefesh. Does that mean that he wasn't tamei when he went into the Beis Hamikdash? No. He was tamei. That's the mitzias. That's the reality. It doesn't change. Just iser tumah is nidcha mipnei pikuach nefesh. So now, in all the examples that we gave of Edus on Ritzicha, where they were offered there on the Kiddush HaChodesh, and the Ben Sorah Mora, etc. So in all those instances, first we have to establish the mitzias. What's the mitzias? The mitzias is that people make a mistake with a day. That's the rov. The rov can establish the mitzias. That's where it starts. And what's the mitzias? Most women give birth at 9 months. So he's royally karei of when he's 13 years and 3 months. And what's the mitzias? When there's rov Yisraelim, there are 9 Yisraelim and one Kanani. If not for kavua, kol kavua kamechza mechza dami. The mitzias is that he has kavanah. Since there's a rov of Jews here, we have to say that his kavanah was to kill a Jew. And he's chayiv misa. So, pikuach nefesh can't change the mitzias. And now, what's the job of the Beis Din? The job of the Beis Din is based on the mitzias. They have to be kovei the halacha. You can't tell the Beis Din, v'tzilu eda, don't go to work today. There might be a chiyuv misa case, stay home. No, their job is to judge. They'll do everything they can once they're judging to try to save the guy. But they can only save the guy based on reality. And the rov is koveya what the reality is. You follow the rov. So in all those cases, we're talking about the rov being koveya mitzias. And based on that mitzias, the person's chayiv misa. And there's nothing to do about that. Based on it has to pass in that way. They have a mitzvah to get rid of uproot the evildoers from their midst. What does pikuach nefesh do? Pikuach nefesh is matir isurim. You're right. There's a baby here. Most likely he's a guy. Could very well be we're doing an isser. But we don't care. Because we have pikuach nefesh here. There's a tzad that we're going to be saving a Jewish baby's life. Jewish child's life. So in the case of pikuach nefesh, the pikuach nefesh isn't determining what the mitzias is. Pikuach nefesh just says, yes, there's an isser here, and we're going to be docha the isser because we might be able to save a life. But in all the other cases, the rov was koveh what the mitzias is. And you have to follow the Metzias. Pikuach Nefesh doesn't change the Metzias. You can't say, oh, it's Pikuach Nefesh, let's change the reality. No, the Rov is Koveh what the reality is. And now we don't have to pay attention anymore to the Pikuach Nefesh aspect. Now we have a mitzvah. This guy person's Chayiv Misa. Based on this Rov. Because the Rov determined the Metzias. The way we're supposed to view the reality. When there's an Isser involved, and there's Pikuach Nefesh, we say, you're right. There's a Rov. It's an Isser. But there's Pikuach Nefesh possibly, so we're going to be over the Isser. Pikuach Nefesh is Docha the Isser. So that's the Chiluk. A possible Chiluk. Obviously, there's so much to say in this Sugya. Olamos Shleimim. Another Makor. The Mishnah in Makis. It says, "Va'afilu Yisrael tzrichim lo yid aleph amid beis. Va'afilu sa'at tzavak Yov ben Tzruya ena yotzei misham la'olam." That a Rotzeach b'shkalga is never allowed to leave near a miklat, even a Makom b'koach nefesh, even if the Jews need him. Yov ben Tzruya was a warrior for David HaMelech, Sanhedrin Mem Tes Amud Aleph, and Am Yisrael needed him. So why is the pikuach nefesh of Klal Yisrael not doiche the din golus of Rotzeach Bishkag? He's a Rotzeach Bishkag, he's near miklat, but Klal Yisrael needs him, and the Mishnah says no. Afil Yisrael tzrichim lo, afil sa'atzva Yisrael ki Yov ben Tzruya. We don't care. He has to stay in his near miklat. You're right. He has a mitzvah to be near miklat, but Klal Yisrael needs him. Pikuach nefesh. The answer is that pikuach nefesh is doiche isurim. But pikuach nefesh doesn't change a psak din. We said before, once there's a psak din of the Beis Din, we can't say, oh, there's pikuach nefesh. We had a rov, based on that rov Beis Din paskins, and you can't start saying pikuach nefesh. Here also you have a psak din. What's the psak din? He's chayav galus. Pikuach nefesh doesn't change a psak din. What does pikuach nefesh do? It's doche isurim. But here there's a psak din. It can't change a psak din. Beis Din makes a psak din. Can't change it. Here there's a psak din of galus, and pikuach nefesh doesn't change it. All pikuach nefesh does is doche pikuach. It's doche isurim. But here the issue is not the isser to leave the ir miklat. Here the issue is the psak din. Can the pikuach nefesh change the psak din? The answer is no. Just like the pikuach nefesh can't change the bailus over the money. It's his money. Pikuach nefesh mikuach befesh. It's his money. My pikuach nefesh can't change the fact that it's his money and take it away from him. The Sifri says, "Lo sagur mipnei ish," based on the pasuk. Don't be afraid of dying. So the Sifri, even if he's going to kill you, he's afraid he's going to kill his son. You know, the mafia. Oh, I'll take your son. I'll put him through the meat grinder. Right? So he's afraid he's going to kill his son. So what's the din? Din is, don't say he's going to kill. I'm afraid. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. The whole world is a narrow bridge, and the most important thing is not to be afraid at all. Kol olam kulo, give me harmony. Kesher tsar me'od. So, why not be afraid? What about pikuach nefesh? It's a different teretz I'm giving. I'm saying he's not literally going to kill his son. But based on our yisod, moiridik. This is a psak din. Can't say I'm going to change a psak din because of pikuach nefesh. What can you change for a pikuach nefesh? You could be doiche isurim. There's an isur. I'm going to be over there anyway for pikuach nefesh. But to change a psak din, is it lo b'kochenu? We can't do that. Another example. Gemara in Erchin, Zayin Amud Aleph. A woman is chayeves misa. You don't wait for her until she gives birth. She's pregnant. She's ala potosh fellowship. Probably wondering what I just said. That's Hungarian for a pregnant woman. You're probably wondering how I know Hungarian. I don't. I used to be able to count to 10 and know how to say ala potosh fellowship. That was more or less. Now I don't even remember how to count to 10. I had a great grandmother. Last Shalom Esther Bas Shmuel. My mother speaks a fluent Hungarian if you want. Maybe I'll have her give some shiurim in Hungarian if she's interested. So this woman's pregnant. She's in ala potosh fellowship. And she's chayeves misa also. Not a steer. A woman can be pregnant and also chayev. So what do? So it says in the Gemara, you don't wait for her to give birth. She's chayeves misa with the fetus. They go down together. Wait a second. You're Machal Shabbos to save a fetus. Why don't you just wait around for the fetus to be born, and then you can't kill her? What did the fetus do? Teretz. It's a psak din. She's chayeves misa psak din. Pikuach nefesh can't change piskei din. זה היסוד. יש עוד להרחיב בזה מאוד. יש הרבה מה לומר בנושא הזה של רוב. אבל זמננו תם. אז אני מאחל לעצמנו שנזכה ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות. ונזכור תמיד ונזכיר שסוף דבר הכל נשמע, את האלוהים ירא ואת מצוותיו שמור, כי זה כל האדם. It's a beautiful Lam Shishir b'siyata d'shmayim. But the ikar is that we should have Yir Shemayim. Shalom, shalom, sweetest and most beloved friends.